to Go for Lunch. Glad to have you all here today. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and we are going to talk about iOS 15 features. Actually, we're only going to probably talk about one iOS 15 feature, and you're going to find out why that is in just a moment. So stay tuned. So this is Go for Lunch number 78. And we have more than just iOS 15 feature today. So if you are kind of watching this out of the corner of your eye and doing something else, you may want to pay closer attention because we got some important news for you on several different fronts. So here at Gopher Technology, we make your technology work for you. We've been doing that for quite a while. My name is Roger Harmon. If you're new here, please type in the comments new, and we would like to get to know you. So, before we get started with our topic, here's one of those things that I alluded to you: Black November. Why you need to plan ahead. What the heck is Black November, you may be asking yourself. Well, Black November was formerly known as Black Friday, but it has expanded. You may have noticed that all the big retailers are already putting out their Black Friday deals, even though Black Friday is the Friday after Thanksgiving, which is almost a month away. Now, the reason this is happening, most experts will agree, there are supply chain shortages. Say that 3 times fast. So the supply chain, because of the international situation of shortages of both materials, i.e. chips, and other components that go into making the devices that you might want to be buying as gifts, as well as the personnel shortages for the people that manufacture those products, the people that unload them from ships, people that drive the trucks that deliver them to the retailers across the country. Those are all areas that are having problems right now. So you need to consider shopping now for your holiday gifts. It just, that's the way it is. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be limited to the holiday season. I think we're going to see these shortages extend into the new year. So kind of keep that in mind no matter what you're buying, that you need to plan ahead, do your research, and especially if you're buying toys, I've heard that there could be a shortage of toys more than anything else this year. So keep that in mind. Let's look at some examples here of what delays you might experience. So here's an iPhone 13. This morning I priced this out. This was an iPhone 13 space gray in a 256 storage configuration, pretty common. And if you ordered it this morning, you would not get it until the end of November, 1st of December. And at the moment, it was not available for pickup at the local Apple store. How about a nice M1 MacBook Pro? Again, the basic configuration of 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of SSD, solid state storage. This is the 14-inch, same thing. End of this month, 1st of December, when you could expect that, and not available locally. And an Apple Watch, exactly the same delivery dates. And again, these are expected to slip and to get worse, to get longer. So plan ahead. Okay, that was public service announcement number 1. So in light of the fact that we're talking about iOS 15, I am not recommending that you update to iOS 15 until it's at least iOS 15 version 15.3. So usually we want to wait until the .3 version comes out and hope that by that time all of the major bugs have been taken care of. So don't consider this my recommendation to update to iOS 15. Okay, so the feature that I want to talk about is called live text. Now this is an amazing feature, and because it's so amazing, you can't do this unless you have an iPhone XS XR. These have the A12 Bionic chips in them, which has the computing power to make this work. So you have to have an iPhone 10 or newer to do this. So if you're wondering, oh, will my iPhone 5 really work for these new? No, your iPhone 5 will not work. So you need to consider, if you're have an older iPhone, you need to look at updating. And again, you have to plan ahead, because if you wanted to update today, you wouldn't get a new phone for a month. So that's why we're talking about this, so that you know what's coming up. You can decide whether the feature is something that would be helpful in your life. And hopefully I'm going to convince you that even if you're a person that says, oh, I only use it for phone calls, I'm hoping to convince you that it's more useful than just phone calls. So that's my goal here, is to let you utilize the technology that's coming out in these new iPhones. So the way a live text works is that you use the camera on your phone, so you can highlight text inside of a picture, and then you can use it to open a website, make a phone call, do an email, lots of different stuff. So let's see how that works. So you open your camera app, you position your iPhone so the text appears in the camera frame. You know, you don't have to have it a real close-up. I mean, it can be a smaller part, but I imagine the bigger it is in your frame, the easier it will be to capture it. So when the yellow frame appears around the text, you tap a little square yellow icon that you've never seen before, so it'll be easy to identify. And then you can use the grab points. These are the little circles on the corners of the rectangle of the frame to select the text. So if there's like 3 lines of text and you only want like a phone number that's in the middle of the second line, then you would just resize it so that you just get what you want. Then you would copy the text, and then you can paste it into another app, for example, Notes or Messages. Or if you just want the whole thing, say maybe like it's a slide in a presentation you're watching, and you want the whole slide, all the text, then you could do a select all and just grab the whole frame without having to resize it. So you can use that captured text then to search for things on the web, so you don't have to type it in. So again, see, efficiency, we're saving you some steps here. Here's a really good use for this if you happen to like to travel, like most of you do, I think, and you're in a foreign country and you see a sign and you don't understand what the sign says, and you take out your iPhone, you take a picture of that sign, and then you can translate it and find out what it says in English. Another thing you can do is share the information through AirDrop, Messages, Mail, and other ways, or you can use it to go to a website and make a search. If you copy a phone number, you can just tap on that phone number and it will automatically, because of the computing power in your late model iPhone, make a phone call. You can also start an email. So all these things you can do by grabbing live text. Now, normally this would be where I would show you how this works. Unfortunately, the iPhone that I have that has iOS 15 on it is an iPhone 6s Plus, which, as I said earlier, will not work. So an older iPhone cannot do live text because it needs the more advanced Nero engine that's in the later iPhones. So that's why I'm not demonstrating it. So I could have taken a bullet and used my iPhone 11 here and upgraded it to iOS 15 for demonstration purposes. However, I am following my own rule and not updating until it's iOS 15.3, because this is my phone, this is my life, this is how I conduct my business. So I'm not going to take a chance of having it have some weird problem and then I'm out of business, literally. So I see Barbara and Judy have joined us. Glad to see you guys here. So, and then you would tap to return to the camera after you capture the text. Those issues that I was just talking about and the reasons for not updating and the not being on the bleeding edge of technology is here are the features that I found when I went to the internet and searched on iOS 15 issues. Some people, okay, let me emphasize one thing. All these things I'm going to list here are not global problems, okay? They're not happening to every single iPhone. There's so many different combinations of iPhones and the different apps that different people have. They can't test for all these combinations in the beta test process before they actually release what they call the golden master, the final copy, which is obviously not final because they keep updating it after they've released it to the public. But some people, your mileage may vary, are having these issues. Some people are having problems with apps that are freezing or not functioning as they used to before iOS 15 was installed. Some people have noticed that their touchscreens are either slow, sluggish, or completely unresponsive. Now, I've noticed a little bit of this even on iOS 14, and I've read that other people are seeing some differences in iOS 14. So there's something going on here that needs to be fixed. Some people are getting messages that say their iPhone storage is full when it's not. Some people are reporting that when they install iOS 15, they lost data. One person said they lost all of their notes data, which was extensive. But that would not happen to you, would it? Because before you ever upgraded to anything on any device, you would always back it up. Am I right? So when you do a backup on your iPhone, you always want to back up before you make any drastic change, like updating your operating system. You want to do a complete backup to your Mac. Now, there's two ways to do that, depending on which Mac operating system you have. If you have one that still supports iTunes, you could do it inside iTunes. If you have a newer one where you have music, the music app instead of the iTunes app, then you do it in the Finder. So, and you want to do an encrypted backup to your Mac computer that captures all of your settings. So if there is a problem, you can roll back to your previous configuration and not have a lot of problems. If you need help with that, of course, I'm always available to help you with that. So make sure you back up before upgrading to anything on any device. Okay, so another little public service announcement here. Live text also works on Mac OS 12 Monterey. Again, we do not recommend that you update to Mac OS 12 until it's Mac OS 12.3. Okay? I think we got that. And the reason for that, when I did a little search this morning about problems with Mac OS Monterey, a lot of people were, not everybody, but a lot of people were reporting that when they backed it up, or when they upgraded their Intel Macs, so Intel Macs are ones that were purchased definitely 2018 or before, but there were still Intel Macs being sold in 2019 and early 2020. They were bricked. So that's kind of a computer term. That means your computer has the same functionality as a brick. Like, You could use it to build something, but that's about it. So as of this morning, there was no indication from Apple that they had a fix for this problem, which is a severe problem. So don't upgrade to Monterey until 12.3, and even then you want to double check with me, check the internet, and see if people are still having this problem with their Intel Macs on having them bricked. So that brings us to the best part of our program, which is the questions. So while you are formulating your questions and typing those into the comments, let me mention that it's National Deviled Egg Day. One of my favorite treats when I go to a function where people are bringing food. And just as a review, that deviled eggs are made by taking a hard-boiled egg, cutting it in half, removing the yolk, and then mixing the yolk with mustard, mayonnaise, pickle relish, salt, pepper, your secret ingredients, then putting it back in the half of the egg and sprinkling it with paprika and serving it cold on a platter. So happy National Deviled Egg Day. So let's see how we're doing here on comments. And so Bob, let's see what Bob's up to here. So Bob has updated to iOS 15.1 on his iPhone XR or 10R, and he is sailing without any problems, so that's good. So another little public safety announcement here, public service announcement, and that is that your Zoom has an update. So Zoom is famous for updating a lot, like at least every 2 weeks they seem to have an update. So when I checked this morning, the new version is 5.8.3, and the way you update Zoom is you launch Zoom on your Mac. You go to the upper left-hand corner right there next to the Apple logo where it says zoom.us. Click on that, then in the drop-down menu you click on check for updates, and then you follow the prompts. So make sure your Zoom is up to date. You have all the features and the security updates. Security updates really aren't a big deal with Zoom anymore, but they are always adding features which you may want to take advantage of, or the people that are hosting your Zoom meetings are taking advantage of, and you need the latest version to be able to use those things. So Susan is saying that her OWC dock has failed. Oh no. So from December 2018, so I think did you check, Susan, did you check with OWC? I think those have a 2-year warranty. So did you ask them if it was covered by a warranty? So you may want to do that. So, that's a good reminder. Anytime you, what I do is when I order a new product, in my Notes app, whether it be Notes or Evernote or whatever Notes app you use, make a note of the purchase. I have a folder called Orders that I put all that in, and you could even take a picture of the serial number on the actual device. So you have the picture of the device with the serial number, model number, the label that the manufacturer put on there, so you have all that information. And let's see, Susan says the dock is scheduled to ship on November 22nd and will take 11 days to arrive. Sounds like they're shipping it directly from China. So again, an example of the supply chain issues. So yeah, December, okay, I don't do on-air math very well. So December 18 to December 19 is 1 year, to December 20 is 2 years. That's right, we're in December 21. Okay. So you're right, Susan. So that's a shame. I expect those to last longer than that. And we still think the OWC dock is a good one to have. I still have lots of people using them, and they are still working. Okay. Well, if you have no other questions, we are going to call it a Go for Lunch and urge you to subscribe if you haven't already by clicking on subscribe down there below my picture. And if you click on the little bell, it will remind you when we go live. And then I would also ask that you forward the GoFor Gazette, which comes out every Monday morning about 7 o'clock, to your friends so they could join us and they could learn what you're learning. And as always, everything that we do here on excuse me, on Go for Lunch is archived on the GoFor Technology YouTube channel. So you can go back there and pull out anything. You can search. Once you get the list of videos, when you do a search, it's searching only for those videos. So if you wanted to find something on notes, for example, we did a program on notes, you could find just that one without having to, look through the whole list. So trying to make it easy to make these videos that I do for you each week a resource that you can call on anytime you need a little refresher on something that we have talked about. And I'm always looking for suggestions about what we could talk about in the future. So if you have any ideas, let me know. Please, you can call me or email me, and that information is right here on your screen. See you next time.